Hello, my friends. Good to be here with you again. So, today, let's talk about the value and the necessity of study, of discipline. I remember a long time ago that the word discipline, was just such an anathema to me. I was living a life of a guiding adventure travel trips all around the world. And so, I was this barefoot guy running around the islands of Baja, sea kayaking, snorkeling with the sea lions, hanging out with the whales. Discipline? No, life's about freedom. Life's about play. Life is about, the exploration of the world. And it was only later that I started to realize that the freedom I was seeking was all kind of external. I didn't know internal freedom, true freedom, to be rested in the grace of being, to be rested in an awakened peace of being, regardless of the conditions of life. So, and how did I find that? Through discipline and through study. So I wanted to speak about that today. But before I do, just know that I've got for you today a gift and an invitation. So down in the description, you're going to find a link to the 6 foundations for peace and freedom, and that is a free gift. I offer it often in my videos, because it is a really powerful guide to help guide you through 6 foundations that are absolutely central, foundational to living a life of peace and freedom, a more stable life of peace and freedom and general happiness. And happiness is really just a sense of fulfillment. Also, I have an invitation for you, and it's an online both community and study opportunity. It is chock full of all manner of lessons and guidance and meditations and conversations and opportunities for you to be a part of an ongoing and deepening and sustained conversation about what it is to live consciously alive and to have a deeper self-knowing of your full dimensionality of being, all the different dynamics that go into this human spiritual experience. So today, let's talk about study. I have been recently working with a new coach, a nutrition and fitness coach. I'm 62 years old. It is not as easy for me to stay in good fitness and good shape as it used to be. So I used to be able to take all of this for granted. I just naturally was always fit, toned, athletic, agile, had a lot of vitality, and that's different now. So I started working with a coach, and I'm studying nutrition. I'm studying nutrition for the first time ever. I mean, I've always eaten healthy, but I've had no idea about macronutrients, about the balance of carbs, fats, proteins, how much in one meal can I consume and not have it go to fat. How do I time my meals so that I'm getting a nice even cadence of energy throughout the day and not spikes and dips? How do I calculate? I never even knew how much calories was in anything ever, because I'd never really thought I needed to. And now it's important. So I'm bringing this up because I am studying now. And this study is giving me information. This information that is breaking down all the different dynamics of nutrition and fitness, how they work together, how energy levels work together, eating carbs before a workout and proteins after a workout. I never had any concept that that was a thing. So this is very much akin to our self-knowing, the foundation of really learning how to navigate this life with more grace and peace and power and opportunity to really be in our full potential is a journey of self-knowing. The foundation of all wisdom traditions is know thyself. Know thyself fully. Know the full dimensionality of what it is to be a human spiritual being. What are the different components? The ego component, the personal self, the mind, the soul, source, consciousness, awareness. What are these things? How do they work together? How do they fit together? And I'm just kind of blown away recently about the perfect analogy of if I want to really manage or consciously work with my fitness, my energy levels, my health, my well-being, my physical well-being, and mental well-being, I am being benefited greatly by studying the breaking down the components of the food that I consume. The calories, the carbs, the proteins, the fats, how do these all work together? And the study is giving me wisdom, and the wisdom is giving me power and choice. And things are now changing that weren't changing before. So before I started to work with this coach, with this guide, I was winging it. I was totally winging it. I was just kind of listening to stuff and going, well, I'll try intermittent fasting. But I wasn't really intermittent fasting because I'd do a little bit of a drink in the morning that had some supplements in it or nutritional powder in it that was breaking my fast. And I didn't really understand that. I was simply saying, well, I'll just cut out carbs. I'll just cut out carbs. And I won't do any dessert at night. I won't do any sugars. And about a year or so ago, I stopped drinking alcohol. So that's got to have a benefit. And I'll hike a lot. I'll increase the amount of cardio that I'm doing. And it wasn't doing it. My weight was actually going up. So I was totally winging it without proper knowledge, without a study. And now that I'm doing the study, within 2 weeks, I've dropped 7 pounds. I feel more agile. I feel more alive. I'm so much more aware of each meal and what it contains and how and when to eat that meal during different times of the day. And man, it's amazing. So on our journey of awakening as who we really are beyond the personal egoic identity, the essential nature of our being requires study and breaking down these components of what we really are. That's the question we keep asking. Who are you really? That's me and my nutrition. What's really in this meal? Let me understand it better. So when we start to break down and recognize that there's something beyond our thoughts and beliefs that is more essential to us, we're getting wisdom. We're gaining wisdom. We're gaining an understanding. We're being guided in how to navigate self, how to understand self, how to map self. So we understand all the different components of what's getting in my way. What is a story? What is conditioning? What is programming? What is ego? To recognize that ego is not a thing. Ego is not a thing. Ego is an activity of mind. That blew my mind when I first heard that. Ego is an activity of mind. This thing that you identify with as self is an activity of mind. That was wisdom that really, really shifted my way of navigating self, navigating consciousness. Study. Where did I learn that? I study. I listen to my teachers on a regular basis, and I engage in these conversations on a regular basis. They've become really the only conversations that are of real interest to me, is the interest of reality, the conversations of reality. What's really happening? What is the awakened state, which isn't even a state? What is awakened consciousness? What is it to live as the essential nature of being? What does that even mean? Study. Staying in the conversations with myself, with others, in my journaling, in my practices, that my attention goes to this question on a regular basis. Who am I really? What's true? What is illusion? What is this dream of separate self that I keep falling into? Well, and that I don't anymore. What is that? To understand it, to break it down, to study it, to read, to sit with what you read and marinate in that. Just to read something, to watch a video, to watch this video, to take something from it and go, well, that's interesting. Ooh, that makes a difference. And then to contemplate that, to sit with it, to marinate on that in a meditation, to learn what is self-inquiry. How do you go about it? So the invitation here is to start to bring yourself to study. And that's very much what the Oasis is all about. It's an opportunity to study. It is full of content and guidance and wisdom that breaks down all the different dynamics of what it is to be a human spiritual being so that we can consciously live in our truth rather than kind of reflexively living in our stories and our conditioning and in our programming. But it takes study. It just does. So that's what I was doing with my nutrition. I was totally winging it, grabbing a little information there, grabbing a little information there, and trying to put it together myself and seeing if it works. And I just didn't have the guidance. I didn't have the wisdom. I didn't have the information. And only when I hired this beautiful, wonderful coach to help guide me through understanding what is a macronutrient. What is my rested metabolic rate, my MBR, my MB, or whatever it is? No, my baseline metabolic something. So I'm still studying. But to understand that there's a baseline metabolic rate that is how many calories do I burn throughout a day just being at rest, not doing anything? And then how many calories am I taking in during the day? And are they more than that? And then what is the content of my calories? Do I need more proteins? Do I need more fats? Do I need more carbs? What time of the day do I need those things? I'm studying. I'm learning, and it's making a difference because I can apply wisdom to my intentions, my desires to be more fit, to lose weight, to be back in my aliveness, my vitality. So to awaken into and as your essential nature of being, and to recognize all the ways that the mind gets in the way, is a study. So I invite you to download the 6 Foundations to Peace and Freedom, and in particular, look at the section on study. And it really does help flesh out and elucidate the reason that study is so valuable and necessary in this journey of awakening into your truth as who you really are. Because without the study, then you're just winging it. You really are. And you can't wing awakening. You can't wing it. It's an absolute study, and it's fascinating, and it's beautiful, and it's enjoyable, and it's such an amazing revelation after revelation after revelation of what's really going on in this human spiritual journey that we're on. And I mean, for me, study has just become an absolute love, because it just keeps giving me more wisdom, more information that I can use in order to live as the essential nature of being, to live as peace, to live as love, to live as what we actually are. So I invite you, please download your free gift, join us in the Oasis, and let's all stay in these really rich and beautiful and dynamic conversations of truth and beauty. All right. I'll see you soon. Be well. Thank you.